Hello, everyone. Come in, come in, come in. I decided to do a live stream tonight focusing on what is private reserve banking, right? What is a private reserve account? What does it mean to become your own bank? What does it mean when the banks use arbitrage, which means they take the money that you deposit in there, either by cash deposits or either via your check, and they lend it out 10 times more and they gain interest on it. And then when you want to borrow money to make big purchases against the bank, they charge you interest as well, or you want to open up a credit card account. And so I've been coming before you why and explaining why having this home based business that I am affiliated with is your biggest assets. I've been coming before you, letting you know that they are generous and offering the business opportunity at a very low entry investment of $129. And so, I've told you all a lot of things about the business, such as number one, the strategy to increase your income helps you get more money if you earn a paycheck, help you get more money out of your paycheck instantaneously by adding on its business deductions over 475 in the home-based business. That's called leveraging business deals, leveraging right? Income and leverage income and residual income is something that I'm going to share with you all as well. So, hello, everyone coming in. I see Linda and is that Richardson, Mulaney. Hello, thank you all for saying hello. So let's get into this live stream because I'm going to share something with you that I often don't talk about that the business offers. And yes, all under one umbrella of $129 is unbelievable, but it's real. And the name of the business is Making Wealth Real. So I can see why they want to offer that. All of these services. And this is PRA, private reserve account, becoming your own bank. Now, a lot of you all may have heard this through the concept of cash value life insurance, right? And it's always this debate of whether you should get cash value life insurance or if you should get term life insurance and invest the difference. I'm going to show you how this home based business opportunity, again, for 129, but that will end April 22nd, is not only going to help you protect your credit, improve your credit score. Not only will it help you reduce your household bills, right? They have bill experts that negotiate your bills for you without having to renew a contract or to switch your servicers, right? Your cable bill, your internet, cell phone bills, security bills, your Sirius radio, if that relates to you. They negotiate those bills and you keep the services that you already have just for a lower amount that brings cash flow back to you. Also, if you are a small business owner, right? You're a small business owner and you want to increase your cash flow. You're tired of being the solo person as far as earning money. It helps you leverage money from other people, right? Leverage money from other people to increase your cash flow as well. So small business owners, sometimes they are in the red as well. It helps high income earners get more money out of their paycheck. And even if you're not making six figures, it helps you maximize and get more money out of your paycheck by simply using strategy. So let's get right into this. Everyone pretty much that follows me, unless I have some new people on the live stream tonight, know that the recession is here and that it's only going to get worse, that the economy is not going to get better. I know you see a little breathing room at the gas pump, right? But that was just a test. What if I told you that was just a test? They wanted to test how many people would protest when they see $4 a gallon gas prices. How many people would protest, and this is for regular, when they see $5 a gallon gas prices. How many people will protest? How many people will be up in arms when they see $6 regular gas prices, right? And I know if you're in California, you're going to tell me, Queen, if I could see 3.99 gas prices, I would be happy, right? I took this picture today, 3.99. for regular Chevron, but look at the gallon of milk, right? $5.49 for milk at this stop as well. So $3.99 gas prices. Diesel is even higher at $4.99, which is going to affect the drivers that deliver groceries to these big grocery store chains, which then is going to be a chain reaction of, of, of increasing your food and grocery prices. And so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be straight up. I come to brainwash you. See, what I mean by that, what if I told you that everything, like the Matrix, right? Everything that you've been taught is a complete lie. And I mean brainwashing in a good way, in a positive way. There's nothing wrong with a good brainwashing as long as you're using the right detergent, right? And some people need a good brainwashing because they have no clue what's about to hit them ahead of this economy. What if I told you that your 401k is a scam? What if I told you that the government would tax you less if you only knew and had a financial education, and if you would take your cash and invest it in an asset like a home-based business? Because the government, through real estate, through a home-based business, they reward entrepreneurs because they create jobs. They want home-based businesses. And with gas prices going to raise even higher by June, and at the level that they are now, why would you get in a vehicle and drive to a second job only to be taxed higher, one person, but you're going to be taxed as two? You're going to get two W-2s from having two jobs. And now you're burning more of your time and also more of your budget in gas when you can work in the comfort of your own home, apartment, townhouse, or condo and make that money and so much more. So what if I told you that you can use debt to get rich? That when you use debt in a reversal way, it does not always have to keep you poor unless you use debt to invest or purchase liabilities and not assets. What if I told you that your house is not an asset? See, a definition of an asset is anything that takes money out of your pockets. If you have a house mortgage, you are paying the bank every month to abide in that house. And if you don't have a home-based business, you're losing $400 every month just in the square footage that the government will give you to write off as a tax write-off for your house. If you're a renter, you're paying your landlord every month. That's a liability. A liability is anytime money is going away from you. An asset is anytime that money is coming to you. So I am here to take the cover off of your eyes when it comes to your finances, to educate you, to be futuristic, right, about this new fintech, about this new artificial intelligence, about this new technology, and about cryptocurrency, which is digital cash is going to replace physical cash. I'm here to educate you that you need to level up your credit because your credit can be used to invest in asset that we are now at the very beginning stages, right? What if I told you that in 2008, Bitcoin was less than a penny? And now 2022, it has outpaced inflation. It's at $45,000 today. Less than a penny in 2008. What if I told you you can use your own credit, your own social security number that the government assigned to you to become a worker and then tax you the highest from your labor, from your job? Or if you're a small business owner, you have to pay tax for your employees, but you can use that same 9-digit number and create an EIN for $129 and make yourself an entrepreneur, make yourself a corporation and not an individual. And the very amount of money you have right now without working a second job, with the strategies I'm about to share, can make you ultra rich. If you shift your mindset, you can shift your money. What if I told you I can help you put your money on Miracle Grow? You know what Miracle Grow is, right? It's the soil that you plant your plants in that makes your plants 10 times bigger. What if this 129 is the very first step to investing in yourself, investing in your future, investing in your finances to make the money that you're making now 10x, 10 times bigger. So let's start with the 401k, because as we enter a recession and depression, a lot of people's 401k will crash as the stock market will crash. So I have some friends, so you just won't have to hear from me, that's going to teach you with me on this live stream. So make sure again you hit that like and share button. I'm going to introduce to some Miss Kim Kiyosaki, who is also known as the Queen of Cash Flow. She is the wife of Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a book about the mindset that it takes to get out of the rat race, to get out of your financial troubles and financial issues. And let's hear what the Queen of Cash Flow, Ms. Kim Kiyosaki, has to say about the 401k.
For the average person to get into the stock market. So you really got to do some research. I mean, everybody, all of us need to really do our research when we're looking at just blindly accepting advice from somebody. So I don't think today you can save yourself to retirement. I mean, the interest rate's 2%, right? It was almost negative because it was zero something, and the fees you're paying brings you negative. So if you're saving money, are you trying to build as big a nest egg as possible to live off of? And who knows what's going to happen with inflation, deflation? There's so many factors. So I don't think saving in a 401k is a good financial retirement plan at all. I think it's probably some of the worst advice you could get today. The 401k was never meant as a big retirement plan. A 401k was developed because after the Depression, people were not getting back into the stock market. So they created a 401k to make it easy for the average person to get into the stock market. So you really got to do some research. I mean, everybody, all of us need to really do our research when we're looking at just blindly accepting advice from somebody. So I don't think today you can save yourself to retirement.
So as she said, you cannot save yourself to retirement. Know the purpose and the history of a 401k, but I just don't want you to hear from her, right? I just don't want you to hear from her. Let's hear it from her husband. What does Robert Kiyosaki has to say about the 401k? What does Grant Cardone has to say about the 401k? What does Minority Mindset? See, you all, if you do your research, making 129 decision is easy for you. It's not a hard decision to make. All you have to do is open up your mind, do your research, and take action, right? Open up your mind to new possibilities. Open up your mind that you don't have to struggle financially. Open up your mind that every 8 to 10 years, there is a recession, aka this will be a depression, because it's a reset of everything from the currency system. That's why Joe Biden extended student loan payment. This is why they have extra sanctions against Russia starting today. This is why all of these distractions are happening, from the Will Smith slap to the Russia war, the Russia-Ukraine event, all the way going back to 2019. All three of these have something in common. They were put in place to distract, to bring us to this currency system reset. And many people talk about the metaverse is not real, but they believe these situations were actually real. Right? Many people talk about the metaverse, and I'm not listen, just because you invest in cryptocurrency, does not mean you have to participate in the metaverse, right? Most people believe the universe is an illusion. It's just a dimension. And so just because you invest in something doesn't make it good or evil. It's going to make you smart and positioned because it's coming, right? Just like money is neither good or evil. It's how the person that has access to it decides to use it. So don't take it from me. Let's listen to now Robert Kiyosaki explain. Don't let Wall Street steal your dreams.
Eating great food. But what would you do if the day you woke up ready to retire, all that money was stolen from you? This is happening right now, and you could be a victim of Wall Street's crime.
There's two kinds of pensions throughout the world, only two. One is like a 401k, defined contribution, which Andy is an expert at. And the second is called defined benefit, which is industrial age pension plans. And my co-author is Edward Siddell. He's a former SEC attorney. And he got so sick and tired of watching the teachers, firefighters, and police officers and labor union guys ripping off the pensions. And the average guy doesn't know that. So they think, oh, I have a, so the old guys who have a defined benefit, like the firefighters and teachers, oh, I have a defined benefit pension plan. It's a guarantee I'm going to get a pension. But they're being robbed blind. And your generation is being robbed blind in a 401k. So we're not saying don't get a 401k. We don't give it financial advice, but you just have to know how stupid you are to think of that way. That's why I have this program. So this is Andy Tanner. His book is 401 Chaos. Andy, one quick question. If you were 25 years old, would you be happy with a 401k?
No.
Okay, good. Not ask questions.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.
Great show. Thanks for having us.
That's the show. End of it. We're good to go.
But you don't have a 401k.
No.
No. Okay. So I want you guys to get that. We're not saying you shouldn't have a 401k. I think we should be aware of why we won't have one. This makes me so happy.
Well, it's interesting because one of the books that I love as much as Rich Dad Poor Dad is the cash flow quadrant. So if a person understands that, that will help them with their decision, right? I mean, if I am an employee, they're going to present me with a 401k plan. If I'm an investor, that's not going to be
The I quadrant, right?
Yeah, I quadrant. And so
and most people in the S have
An IRA.
IRAs.
IRAs, which is kind of it's a different 401k, but it's for self-employed people. So E's and S's have 401ks and IRAs and SEPs. I wouldn't touch them either. So go ahead.
People here's what's interesting. There's a lot of greed in the world, a lot of it. And if I was in my 20s, right, and up and coming and get into life, or if my son, when he gets that age, I'm going to say, son, people want your money. They're going to want it. Your employer wants to give you less of it. That's why they do a 401k instead of a pension. They want to give you less money. They want to keep most of it. The government wants your money through taxes, right? And the guys who want your money more than anyone else is Wall Street. So what I would say is just look at both sides. If Robert and I were going to do a business deal together, we'd say, okay, this is what we're going to put in, and this is what we hope to get out, and this is how it's, it may or may not work like that. But you need to know what Wall Street is going to do with that money and how much Wall Street's going to make. When you look at an average person, they're people,
average.
They'll say, where's their money at? It's in their house, and people think their house is an asset, and it's in their
after 2008, it was a sub asset, subprime.
And then you have your retirement. So Wall Street looks at this, and the bankers look at this. Wall Street the bankers want your mortgage because they're going to charge you interest there, but Wall Street wants your 401k because they're going to take your fees. You'll find that your mortgage is your liability, but it's the bank's asset. Your house payment is your expense, but it's the bank's income. Well, your 401k is the Wall Street's asset because the fees you pay is their income.
So the person owning the 401k isn't the one actually profiting from it. It's It's Wall Street.
No, you'd be appalled to know how much money Wall Street makes.
And get this book, Who Stole My Pension?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The school teachers, firefighters, and police officers, they're being ripped off blind. Andy has charts on that. But your generation coming on, the reason I'm very hot on this subject is my generation, the baby boomers, were the first ones to have 401ks.
Yeah.
And how much does the average baby boomer have today, the 401k?
Oh, age 55 to 65, the median would be about 60,000.
And they're planning to live off of this
for the rest of their lives.
And this is important for millennial money, because millennials are not, now listen, millennials, this is a clue. Okay, this is a clue. Millennials are not 55 to 65. So look, the first generation that shifted into 401ks are now getting ready to retire, 55, 65 years old. If you look at the median and you see that there is 60,000 and half the people have less than that, and you say, okay, sign me up for that program, you've got to be very, very smart and very, very careful.
One thing
Wow, so that's it on the 401k. And you know what? Teachers are already overworked and underpaid. And teachers, for the most part, they just really don't have a good set up pension. And instead of, teachers only learning the subject area that they go to school to get master's degrees and doctorate degrees and specialist degrees, they should expand their thinking outside of social studies, math, and science, things that cannot be used in the real world, 9 times out of 10 anyway, into investing what a true financial education is. If you're going to spend all of your life working for money, you at some point should learn about the history of money, the future of money, and currently how to maximize your money. Because if you don't, you're just going to work and work and work, pay bills, live for the weekend, take vacations every now and then that you cannot afford. It's going to be stressful for you to pay the price of that vacation, that you really cannot afford that umbrella drink that you're drinking out of, because you don't want to embrace understanding the 401k, understanding how you are taxed out of your paycheck and the benefit of adding a home-based business to your paycheck. Or if you're a small business owner, understanding the power of leverage and residual income instead of personal time invested money. If you never learn these secrets, you're going to work, 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 work until you die. If you don't take action, and if your company is one of the companies that may be crushed during this recession and depression through its 401k, and if you don't look into this home-based business opportunity as a way to shift your 401k into this PRA, the private reserve account, you're going to lose thousands, and Wall Street is going to get richer. People are going to lose homes and mortgages. They're going to get foreclosed on. And the banks, again, just like 2008, is going to get richer. So you want to know the answer why all these things are going on. Follow the money. Follow where the money is going. Follow where the money is flowing. And if that money is not flowing back to you, you should ask yourself, who or what is taking my money? As Robert Kiyosaki breaks down the 4 quadrant, employees, 95% earn their money through a job. Nothing wrong with a job. It's admirable. But what is wrong with it is that you get highly taxed from it. They set you up on a 401k. They put you through the big businesses of having vision, dental, health insurance, accidental insurance, cancer insurance, all type of insurances. And everybody is getting rich except you, because a job or even a small business is never designed to make you rich. So let me show you where your money is shifting. Let me show you who's moving your money and where your money is flowing. You have 4 roadblocks. 4 areas is taking your money. Number 1, big businesses, right? Big businesses. Right now, anyone that owns a gas station, for example, is super rich. They're getting rich as you have to carpool, right? Let me see if I can change this view presentation. As you have to carpool, they're getting richer and richer. While you're trying to find a way just to make it back to work, to afford your job, to afford to go back and forth to work, the big businesses are getting richer and richer. Home Depot, Lowe's during the quarantine, CEOs, richer and richer. Amazon, richer and richer. Then your next biggest expense is taxes. Well, actually, it's your single biggest expense because you get taxed before you get your paycheck. Then you get taxed when you spend the money from your paycheck in form of retail or sales taxes. And then you get taxed again. Let me change this. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Then you get taxed again on the refund money because that's income. Have you all ever thought about that? Like when you get tax return, your refund, that's income. That money is taxed again. And then even if you get your credit card debt removed from your credit report and form of charge-offs, they send you a 1099-C form in the mail. Now you're getting taxed again on the money that you could not afford to pay back from a charge-off on a credit card, because now you have to claim that as taxes. So now, because you're getting taxed so much, even Social Security and Medicare comes out of paycheck to the government. And if you're a small business owner now, if you don't have insurance, you're basically up, what creek. Because if you get sick, you get injured, you ask yourself, if you're a small business owner, if you were ill or sick or hospitalized and you had to take 6 weeks off of work, could you survive? Because most small business owners and 1099 and high income earners and specialists like doctors and lawyers don't understand the power of leverage and residual income. They only trade their time for money. And so because you're getting taxed and because big businesses in Wall Street 401k is taking money out your pension, now you have to get in debt in order to make up for what your gross paycheck is supposed to reflect. But you don't get the gross, which already is looking gross. You only get the net. So if you want to afford a house, you have to go to the banks. Now the banks is getting rich. If you want a vehicle, you have to finance through the banks. Now the banks is getting rich. Everybody's getting rich off your work and labor except you. And now the fourth, inflation, the highest it's been in 40 years. This is anytime the government and business decides we're going to increase gas, grocery prices, daycare, even utility bills. And if you don't have a plan for your money is going to have a disaster plan for you. Right? Let's see. Yeah, your refund is taxed again. Carlotta says, I already have a small business. How will this help me? Carlotta, it will help you by getting different forms of cash flow through passive and residual income. It can also help your business expenses with your bills. If you have a brick and mortar business or if you're already operating your business from home, it can help you lower your utility bills that you're already paying. And it can help add 475 additional tax deductions. If you have children in your existing business, you probably don't have up to $12,400 that you can claim back in taxes to hire your children. LLC, S Corp, corporation, oftentimes will not offer those tax incentives. So if you have children through the home-based business, however, because the government gives the home-based business entity more tax deductions and tax breaks, in other words, tax money and tax savings than any other business. It also helps with your personal credit. And if you have good personal credit, you can then expand your business credit for the business you already have or you can structure that under MWR business. You can actually, Carlotta, I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. When you enroll, you can enroll your current business if you already have your entity and your EIN under MWR, so that you get additional tax money coming back to you. You get the services of getting the bills that you're already paying, Lord, and you get to write off your lifestyle. See, a home-based business, unlike a person that has their own independent business or brick and mortar business, allow you to take tax write-offs anywhere that you travel in the world. You cannot do that with a personal business. So if you want to travel to Europe, for example, that's a business tax write-off with the home-based business. All you have to do is conduct business there relating to the home-based business, or introduce someone to the business a small percentage of your vacation time. So you take the vacation and make it a businesscation. Now the IRS will ask you, if you have your own stable business, well, how does this relate to your travel to Europe? You cannot justify that. But the home-based business, you can take it anywhere, any part of the world, right? You can introduce it to anybody in the world. The current state that I'm in, for example, I have more people that's my business partners with me out of the state that I reside in than in the state. So they offer all these strategies, and they can help you become your own banker through the PRA, the private reserve account. So a whole lot of incentives that your current business currently does not offer you, right? And so I'm going to break down the PRA, or I'm going to allow my guest speaker that I'm going to show via video to break down the PRA. But right now, I'm also going to explain to people why taxes, through, again, the cash flow queen, Ms. Kim Kiyosaki, is going to explain, rather, why taxes is your biggest stealer of wealth. Because, Carlotta, if you have a small base business, for example, my family owns a daycare. And with that daycare, we have to pay taxes for the employees, and we have to pay our Social Security and Medicaid for them as well. That means we get taxed higher than a person that takes a job as a small business owner. Because not only we have to pay tax for ourselves, we have to pay tax for our employees. And the startup costs, or the operational expenses for the daycare that our family owns, is way more than this home-based business. But I get way more thousands back in taxes through the home-based business than I do with the daycare. The daycare has utilities, we have foods, expenses that kids have to eat breakfast, 3 meals a day, and a snack, paying taxes out for the employees, keeping the maintenance up, keeping the products in. We spend thousands and thousands a month with our brick and mortar business. However, I get thousands and thousands back with the home-based business. So let me allow Ms. Kim Kiyosaki. That's right, Dr. Fornes. It's a mobile business with tax write-off. That's exactly what it is. It's mobile, right?
Oh, how does the saying go? In the U.S., people complain that the people who pay the most taxes don't pay enough, and the people complaining don't pay any taxes. Okay. Something like that.
Right.
But yeah, so unfortunately, the government doesn't know how else to make money except by taxing people. In Honolulu, for example, we have property there, and we are not residents of Hawaii. So a few years ago, we got a notice saying they've just passed a law, and because you're a non-resident and you own property, we're tripling your property taxes. They don't know what else to do. So I think the most important thing about taxes is it's not rocket science, but just know if you're an employee, there's not a whole lot you can do and you're going to pay that tax bill. But if you become an entrepreneur, even in the self-employed quadrant, there's still tax deductions you can take. But as a business owner and as an investor, especially, investors have the greatest tax breaks. And again, it's because you're investing in things that the government wants you to invest in.
And taxes is the single biggest expense for most people in their lives.
Yes.
And they don't realize it.
Yes.
Because you get this printed receipt at the end of every month and you're like, that seems like a lot of money, but I got $2,000 in my bank account. I'm going to go spend it.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that that is the single biggest expense, more than your mortgage, more than your food, more than your kids' tuition.
Yes.
The government's taking that.
Yes.
And that's an incentive to get you to invest in assets.
Yes.
Is what it really is.
Yeah, that's a great.
As they shared in that clip, that's your biggest expense. If you really calculate it, the taxes out your paycheck, the retail taxes when you make groceries or go shopping or buy clothes, or even, eat out at a restaurant, right? If you calculate taxes, your property taxes for your property, if you're a home buyer, you really look at taxes. Or if you are a landlord, look at the taxes you have to pay back for your multi-unit property, right? Taxes, your tag on your vehicles, taxes that you have to pay annually back to purchase and renew your tag. Why do you have to do that every year? Why can't you just purchase a tag one time on the purchase of the vehicle and be done? Because the name of the game is all about taxes. It's all about taxes. That's how the government, the IRS, gets ultra rich. Hello, Jake. That's my former student. So glad you came on and said hello to Coach Deloach. Glad you are in tune to the channel. I hope you become a millennium millionaire by what I'm teaching you. Because it's so hard when people get older for them to understand what he's been exposed to right now. So glad you're tuning in, Jake. You could be playing your PS5 or anything else, but you're learning about finances. You're learning about money. So I'm so glad you are here. And so many experts tell you the same thing about taxes. But guess what? I have a solution. I have a solution for you if you feel like, Queen, I feel like my 401k will be at risk, right? I feel like that my company will take a hit when this depression comes. Some companies won't, but you have to know if your company will. If your company is one of the ones that will be done away with due to technology or your business, and they will downsize due to artificial intelligence, replacing and taking a job of people, et cetera, then you definitely want to look in MWR, Making Wealth Real, and this $129 opportunity to see if, and you will speak with experts about this. You're going to talk to experts. They're going to analyze your situation to see if shifting your 401k is going to be the best for you, so you won't lose thousands once this economy bottoms out. So let me get this video up. I'm going to show you maybe 10 to 15 minutes so you can understand what the PRA account is. So Making Wealth Real has all the strategies you need, from your tax deductions to your tax savings, tax protection. Even if you're investing and you're flipping houses, or you flipping crypto, or you flipping Forex, and now you owe a large tax bill because you didn't have tax shelters. This is how it just have so many components to it. So stop letting the banks take your money because you have to, go back and get in debt. Stop allowing Wall Street to get rich off of you, the government to get rich off of you in forms of taxes, when you can just simply do what the government wants you to do and get a home-based business and take advantage of the tax strategy. Now, I hope you're still with me. He says, yes, ma'am. I love you, Jake. I love you. I pray all is well. Carlotta, I hope you're still on. This is another way that if you already have a business, that this home-based business through MWR and MWR only, I'm not speaking for all home-based businesses because they are not created equal, right? This is how you can get an additional cash flow coming to you. I know there are some people that have businesses that the supply chain is affecting them. They're not able to get their products in. And also, when you are, and I'm not, again, I told you my family operates a daycare. I'm not against owning a business, but I decided a long time ago that I need to own a system too. Where I don't have to, the only way I can make money is I have to roll out of bed every day and get on my feet. No, I want to know how to make money in my sleep, and I do that. Now, see, when you have your own business, you just really hire yourself to be your own boss. But the thing about that if you're ever sick, if you ever can't show up for work, if you have some type of mental or emotional breakdown, and you just need time to recoup and recover, you don't have people or a system continuously working for you. I tell people two things. Number one, as my mentor said last night, do not be broke and busy. Do not be broke and busy. And number two, if you're going to have problems, as Jay-Z would put it, if you're going to have 99 problems, don't let money be one of them, right? So listen about this self-banking private reserve strategy. All of this, people, for 129, but that's just for a limited time.
People well like that. I don't know what to say and motivate people. I'm not that person. And I understand that. See, a director of motivation doesn't need to be that person. A director of motivation is more like a traffic cop. It directs people where they can go get the motivation themselves. It directs people to things that can stretch their vision. So we have a Monday night leadership training call that happens. This Thursday night call where it's systems and strategy trainings. So we train on our system, which we're doing right now, and we train on our strategies, which we're about to do in just a moment here. Then you want to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/NWR Financial. You want to do the same with Facebook, like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. All that's there for you. So you want to stay plugged in, just like you need to plug in your cell phone so that way it doesn't have, you don't see the battery die and you can't use it at all. You want to stay plugged into this business because it keeps you charged and it keeps you going and exploding. Now, what would happen if you literally helped 3 people get an instant pay raise and you taught them to do the same? Well, here's what happens. If you did that, just the 3, do you realize that you're earning $5 a day guaranteed, which is $150 a month, and you're making a profit? I'm not even counting the instant pay raise you had. This is just your income from your business is now created a profit for you. Now, what happens there, if you taught those 3 how to get 3, then they're doing the same thing, or you have a total of 12, you're at $600 a month. That's $20 a day, which is $600 a month with just 12. Or if you look at it over the course of the year, that's $7,200 extra for the year. If you had an extra $7,200, would you be out of debt faster? Would you have those student loans taken care of? Would you have that tax situation taken care of? Would you have more money to do some of the things you want to do, or would you have more money for your retirement? And I'm going to show you in just a moment what that $7,200 could mean for you on the other side. So we're going to do that here in just a moment. But watch this. Now that you see that and you're like, man, I'm making $600 and all I did was help 3 and they taught them how to do the same. What if that now happened 5 times over because everybody wants to do the same thing you did? Well, all of a sudden you would look up, you'd have over 3,200 qualified financial consultants in your business. That means you are now qualifying for $1,000 a day in guaranteed income, which is $30,000 per month for you. Now, I want you to understand this. This is just one of the 10 income streams. And that's what we're talking about here. But I know some of you want to get a clear picture on if I just, because I know there's 10 different income streams and they do a lot of different things. Can you just help me understand how to get a 6-figure guaranteed income and what the strategy of that is? Because at 6 figures and it's guaranteed income, that means regardless if I get out of this will show up. That's what I want to know. So here's what it is. It's the power of you plus the daily guarantee plus the presidential bonuses. Let's talk about it. You go out and you say, remember how we said 12 will get you $600 per month, $20 a day, $600 per month, or $7,200 a year? Well, I'm talking to leaders right now, the do it first ones, the people who say, I'm not letting anybody control my income, I'm going for it. Well, you say, you know what, I only need to get 3. He showed me something incredible with 3. But if I myself go get the 12, because any combination of 12 will get me to 600. So I don't want to wait for anybody to do anything. I want to go get this. I'm going to help 12 W-2. Think about our target market. 150 million W-2 employees out there that don't have businesses. And I'm going to help 12 of them get started. That's crazy, and help them get an instant pay raise. So I go get that done. So then I know not everybody's excited and fired up and as motivated as I am and wants it as bad as I do. So they kind of average out, and they say, well, they're going to get those 5. So those 12 are going to get 5 each. Who are going to get 3 each? Who are going to get 2 each? Well, look at all of a sudden you have 612 qualified financial consultants on your team. That means, look, you only needed 584 to qualify for the $200 a day. So now you're making $6,000 a month in your daily guarantee. And what did you do? You got 12. You plugged them into what we're doing here, our simple system, and they followed it, and it started happening. Then watch this. The presidential bonus, you're now at level 3 there, so you're picking up another $2,500 a month from the presidential bonus. That's $8,500 a month, or $102,000 a year. Ladies and gentlemen, and this is just 2 of the 10 different income streams. This is just 2 of them. But if you want to know your daily 6-figure guaranteed income, is 12,532 is $102,000 for you. That's what it is. Okay, now here's what I want to do. I want you to understand that we have everything you need to succeed here at MWR Financial. Think about this. We provide you leverage, which leverage is one of the key things that all successful and wealthy people have in common. It's leverage. Leverage is the ability to get paid on multiple people's efforts instead of just your own. For us, that's our MWR Financial business. Now, if you wonder if leverage is real, watch this. Bill Gates, one of the richest men on the planet, if not the richest, let's say he has 100,000 people working for him, and they work 40 hours a week for their own benefit, but he's able to leverage those 100,000 people times the 40 hours, so he's getting paid on 4 million hours of effort every single week. Now, if you got paid on 4 million hours of effort every single week, do you think you'd make more than $30 an hour? You better believe you will. So our MWR Financial business can do that for you. Now, you want to look at residual income or guaranteed income. We really should say guaranteed income here. That's the ability to get paid month after month after month after month for a product and service you sold one time by you or others. We do that with our financial ed strategies and our MWR Financial business. And then finally, you want passive income. That's where your money is making money for you through savings and investments that earn compound interest, because we all know that money never sleeps. Money doesn't take time off. Money doesn't call in sick. Money doesn't have a bad attitude. Money just keeps going. So MWR Financial's private reserve account, which I'm going to go over here in just a moment, that's what we have for passive income. So that's why you have everything you need to succeed. Now, there are 4 ways to earn income. We all know Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant made this famous, but here's what I want you to understand. We can take people from right where they are. So you could be an employee tonight, join our MWR Financial business, become self-employed, and then, now at that point, you still have no leverage, but you're in business. But now we can show you how to grow a big business, be a big business owner, because now we can help you as you bring on those 3 who get 3. Remember when we said if you have 12, 5, 4, 3, 2, that's $102,000 in guaranteed income to you? Watch this. You had 612 people in your team. That's a big business. $102,000. I don't even want to break the bank with how much money you would need to have in the bank saving and getting a 3 or 4% return just to have $100,000 show up every year. So what I'm going to tell you is this: 500 people represent a big business. You have over 600. So you have a big business. Now you have people. You've leveraged people working for you and working with, not for you, but with you to help you make money. And then we have the I quadrant, the investor quadrant. Well, that's what we're going to focus on tonight, because I don't know another company in this space, direct sales space, that literally people will show you this in those other companies, but they'll talk about the I, they'll say you should do it. But as soon as you try to ask them, well, where do I get the 10% you're telling me about, or the 4%, or the 5%, or the 20%, or how do I do it? Well, there's stuff out there. I don't know. Check stuff and you can figure it out. They want you to figure it out. Here, we make it a reality. What does MWR Financial stand for? Make wealth real. And we do that. We're going to show you how to make money work for you. So even if you were an employee, we can literally take you through all of these steps. Are you ready for this? Some of you tonight are going to realize for the very first time that this even exists. And you're going to go, wow. And then you're going to realize you could do it right now. You just didn't know it. So you'll be able to start this right away. It's just, in fact, I'm not going to have Gerald come back on the line, but if I was talking to Gerald right now, he would say, I didn't have to wait till I made a whole bunch of money in MWR Financial. When I sat down with the wealth experts, they told me about the PRA, and I saw it. I was like, oh my God, I want to see if I can get one of those. And he was able to do it immediately. This is where it's so powerful. So let's talk about this. Here's what we're going to focus on right now. We're going to focus on Wealth Max, which is our wealth generation and education strategies. See, we're going to get your money making money for you. So so you understand what Wealth Max is. So when I start going over the PRA, you'll get where this is coming from. See, Wealth Max gives you unlimited consultations with real wealth experts. Those are professionals that they'll do a professional analysis to develop the best wealth plan for you and your family. They will do a needs analysis for you, so they can see exactly what you need, because everybody's situation, like a fingerprint, it's for you specifically. So we don't have this one size fits all and you just kind of go, oh, okay, and it doesn't work for you. No, we're going to make sure it's the right plan for you. Then what we do is we have self-banking, where you could become your own private bank by using our private reserve account, and they'll help you set that up. And that's the absolute, you'll see right now, just the next slide, starting with the next slide, we'll go forward here, but you'll see why it's the best way to save, grow, and protect your money tax-free with no risk of loss.
So this is the part you really, especially if you really have a 401k, that I really want you all to tap into. Even if you don't, even if you just, I don't have, you said, Queen, I don't even have a retirement plan. I work for myself. I don't have a 401k. If you have a pension, you're firefighter, school teachers, look at this as well. I really want you to learn how to grow your money for retirement, but to grow it tax-free, and where you can have access to it to take an interest-free loan out. Right? So cue in on this. Cue in on this.
How many of us want that? Let me get you to raise your hands if you want that. See, some of you raise your hands and I can't even see you, but you did it because you know the power of this. Then what we're going to do is we talk about, in Wealth Max, they talk about land banking. And that's real estate investing, where you can buy land for 20 to 40% below market value. We'll go over that next week. We're not going to do that this week. We're going to talk about self-banking and the private reserve account today. But next Thursday, we'll go over land banking. So these are the same strategies that are used by the wealthy that you get to use and experience. Now, here's what happens. Let's talk about the 4 cornerstones of a strong financial foundation. There's growth. You want to have that. Safety, because we don't want to lose the money because we work too hard to earn it. And then you have tax advantages. We definitely want tax-free access to our money. And then ideally you want protection, because if something happens you didn't know, you weren't expecting, you want to know that your money's protected. Well, here's what happens. Your estate and everything else. Let's talk about oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I can't even talk. Oh my, now I'm stuck. I literally got stuck. 3rd grade was the best 3 years of my life, so you have to bear with me when we have multiple syllables. But I'm not going to even say the word because I'm stuck. But here's what happens. You see Richard Branson. We know who he is. He says, retire like a rock star. But listen to this. The greatest retirement crisis in the world, in the history of the world, is happening right now. In the coming decades, millions will retire into poverty. too frail to work, too poor to retire is a new normal. Why did this happen? Well, let's talk about why it happened. In the 80s, about 60% of people still had pensions. By 2016, it only became 4%. Let me tell you why. Because in the 60s, or especially early 70s, they started going back and they started saying, wait a minute, we're seeing these baby boomers just starting to get ready to retire and with pension. And just so you guys understand what that meant, because some of you are young enough to never even heard of a pension was really set up where if you worked for 30, 40 years at a company, making them rich, they would then pay you a certain amount of money for the rest of your life. And then the really good companies, if you died first and your spouse was married to you at least 5 years prior to you retiring, then they would pay her a certain percentage for the rest of her life. So what the company did is said, you helped us over the years, make us rich, make my family prosper. We're going to take care of your retirement. That's how it was set up. But as we started having modern medicine, people living longer, people they're healthy longer, and then the baby boomers, which have wrecked shop and everything they've come through, changed the dynamics of everything. Baby boomers were 78 million people were born in an 18-year period of time. They started retiring. So today, a baby boomer turns 65 every 7 seconds. So they started looking at this in advance and saying corporate America went to the government and said, we're not going to be able to keep paying these pensions. We will go broke. You'll see some of the iconic companies literally go out of business because we're trying to pay pensions. We can't do this. We don't want to do this. What can you do to help us? Well, the government, you know what they want? They don't really care about us, the middle American, hardworking Americans. No, they all want to make sure everybody they benefit. So what do? They said, you know what? We want taxes, and we want a lot of taxes, and we love taxes when you pay them. So what we'll do is this: we have this tax code called 401k. Now it's really only been set up and meant for high-paying executives who make $250,000 a year or more. Back in the 80s, just so you get a sense of what we're talking about here, where back in the 80s, if someone made $50,000 a year, they are making big money. These guys are making $250 or more. Will do something where they can shield some of their income. That's what that tax code 401k, and it's a tax code. That's why we have the name. That's what it was designed for. But what they said was, you know what? We want you to give it to the people. You can give it to your employees, and then that way we won't tax them on the money they put in that 401k, so we won't tax them on the seed, but when they need it most, and when it grows the most, and when we as a nation keep raising our taxes, we get to tax them on the harvest.
Come on, you all. You know when the representative come talk to you about your pension or 401k, the biggest thing they sell you on, especially when you buy other products through them, that this money is pre-tax, right? They want to sell you on that, or it's pre-tax. This contribution is pre-tax, so your taxable income is less and less, and that sell you on is like, okay, sign me up for this product. Yeah, let's go ahead and add this extra insurance on. But most people don't realize, no, and as he even pointed out, that 401ks is such a tax code. As people don't understand, to get more money to Wall Street and the government through taxes, is that they will even give you incentives to say, okay, we're going to match you dollar for dollar for every contribution you make into the 401k. Have you all ever heard that? And in the pension plan, most teachers don't have a Social Security or Medicare taken out, or they have no say so about the amount that's taken out of their pension. They cannot call their pension, the company that's investing for them, the big businesses that's investing for the pension, and say, look, you know what? We're headed to a recession. I don't like this diversity that you have me set up for my retirement. Can I make changes? You can't make changes. You can't make changes. You can't tell them, I want more of this invested in a gold stock or silver or ETF. You can't tell them, I want less or more taken out of my paycheck towards my pension. So you're working for them, right? So let him continue to teach you. I want to stop and pause to emphasize some things. So to make sure that you're hearing this.
Woo, okay, we like that. That was good for us. Corporate America said, well, that's good for us. We don't have to worry about their pension. Great. But then the government said, you're going to have to incentivize them, though, to do that. Because right now they're all going to be expecting a pension. So the only way you're going to do that is do this. You need to, and we'll give you a tax cut on this, tax break on this. You need to match them dollar for dollar. They put in $1, you put in $1, and that'll get them to say, "Wow, $2 went into my retirement. I only had to put in $1." That'll get them to want to do it. So over the 80s, they started doing that. Really good companies would give you, I used to work for Pacific Bell. They gave you $2 for every dollar you put in. So everybody started getting 401ks to the point that today, when your child or your grandchild or you go out and get a job, a job, the first thing you want to know when you talk about your benefits is the 401k. Yes, and you want to start contributing to that. Well, you know what's happened over the years? Many companies no longer match dollar for dollar. Most of them are down about 25 cents for every dollar you put in. So overfunding a 401k, we'll talk about the problems with that, but that's what America's done. So now the government has sanctioned it, so corporate America no longer has to worry about your retirement. Let's see where that's led us to. Let's talk about the truth about money. The ugly truth is that the 401k is a lousy product, a financial flop. Now, that's not me saying it. It's not MWR Financial saying it. It is 60 Minutes. This is what they said. Retirement dreams disappear with 401ks. Trillions of dollars have evaporated from those accounts. A retirement system that has jeopardized the financial security of tens of millions of people. Again, that's CBS News 60 Minutes. Not me, not Brian House, our CEO and founder, not MWR Financial. 60 Minutes said that. Forbes.com said, is your 401k a total scam? He goes, they also remain, this is what they say about 401k, they also remain one of the most egregious scams in modern finance, leaving 401k management fees as the last great ripoff in retirement savings. Most people don't realize that is happening to them. And then the PBS.org or Frontline, they said the retirement gamble. The 401k system has been a failed experiment for middle-class Americans because it was never designed with them in mind. The whole system needs to be reformed. Again, this is not me saying it. This is what these companies that we are well aware of have said. Now, you might say, well, what are the three main reasons? These are the three major reasons why it's happened. Number one, there's stock market risk. The 401k is tied to the stock market. Number two, there are hidden and excessive costs. Could be as much as 30% in fees. Can you imagine you work super hard, put your hard-earned money in your 401k, and 30% went away over time in fees? And then you have the other thing is tax risk. See, in the future, do you think taxes will be the same, lower, or higher? You know they're going to be higher. Now watch this, the retirement gamble. See, the old way of thinking, first use pre-tax dollars to invest in a company-sponsored 401k, then contribute as much as possible and receive a limited match from your employer. Also, and this is all done so you could fund your retirement and pay taxes later. That's what you're attempting to do. This is a post-pension era, I should say, mindset that has been burned into the American psyche. But is it possible that this is exactly what we should not be doing? Well, let's look at this. The rules for retirement, there's new rules for retirement, and they've changed. Here's what they've done. You want to save after-tax dollars and pay taxes on the seed, not the harvest. You want to stay away from the company 401k plan if they don't provide a matching contribution. You never want to send extra money to your 401k above what your company will match. Because overfunding your 401k is like playing Russian roulette with your retirement. See, your goal is to grow your money with zero risk, access your retirement dollars tax-free, and create an income tax-free inheritance for you and your heirs. Now, let's talk about some investment options. When you invest in mutual funds, stocks, savings, CDs, bonds, treasuries, you get taxed right now. When you invest in 401k, 403bs, IRAs, annuities, like both fixed and variable annuities, and saving bonds, you get taxed later. And then when you invest in a Roth IRA, but it has an annual limit, or a private reserve account, or other tax-free vehicles, then you get taxed never. Which one would you choose? I know we're all to the right. We want to choose the tax never. Now, let's talk about old approaches versus new approach. See, here's what I want you to look at. This is an example of two 35-year-olds contributing $400 every month. They do it for 30 years at 7.5% interest. Okay, that's their return. One buys a term policy with no living benefits and a 401k with $100 a month employer match and 1% management fees. The other buys a private reserve account with living benefits. Here's what would happen. The old approach, there's almost $410,000 in your 401k. You want 69, almost $70,000 for income every year, and then to get that income, or I'm sorry, you have to take out almost $70,000 every year because you have taxes at 25% that you have to pay over $17,000 a year in taxes because you want your net income to be a little over $52,000 a year. That's the old approach. The new approach, their PRA has grown to 427, almost 428,000. They want the same net income of a little over $52,000 to come out. So all they have to do is take $52,000 out of their account because they don't pay any taxes on it. See, they already paid the tax for it. You waited to pay it later. So that's what it is. Now let's see how they both turned out. Well, in 13 years, at the age of 78, the money runs out. Your total income that you would have received from your retirement is $591,000 and some change. Now, remember when I said that people, because of modern medicine, people are living longer? What do you think is happening to people? Why do you think you see people with their grandchildren and great-grandchildren on buttons and they're saying welcome to Walmart? Or they're in the hospitals trying to work and welcome people in and write their names on tags and stuff. This is what's happening. Okay, now watch this. The new approach is if the client dies at 100, so let's say they lived a long time, he or she would have received their $52,000 a year for 35 years. That means they would have collected $1.8 million over that time and left their family with over almost $655,000, all income tax free. See, that's the new approach, would have made a 7-figure difference for the same money that they were putting away.
You all, I'm talking. I didn't know I was on mute. I'm sorry, I was just talking. Let me go back and share this. Okay. And so this is what all the benefits of NWR. 35 years, receive $1,828,855. Family is left with $654,946, all income tax free, where your money does not run out like it would in a 401k. This is an example of two 35-year-olds contributing $400 a month for 30 years at 7.5% interest. The one on the left, or the lesser side, the old approach, buys term insurance with no living benefits, right? No living benefits and a 401k, $100 a month. The employee match 1% management fee. And you all have to look at the management fee of these 401ks too that will be deducted. The other one buys a private reserve account with living benefits. People, you want the living benefits. Your retirement plan, your insurance plan should be to have a benefit with living in it, not just death, right? You should be able to hear me now. You might be getting a delay. So I had that adjustment. You should be able to hear me now, right? So I'm signing out. If you want the rest of this video, text. Let me see. I don't want to text 129 so I can know exactly. And all of this is in one bundle through the home-based business. Text PRA, yeah. 254. If you already text 129, that's fine, right? You get all of it. It's not separate. So text PRA. Say, yeah, Queen, I feel like my company, my business is definitely one of those who will go out with the recession. And my 401k money is tied into it, and I need a plan, and I need a plan now. Or if you have an existing, maybe you have your existing 401k and you know this is not going to be the best plan, or your pension. So you get all of this money shifting back to you and not to Wall Street, not the banks, definitely not to the government and the Federal Reserve in form of taxes, right? Hope this was a great video. If so, definitely like and share. You all be safe, right? And also remember, you will not win, W-I-N, in life until you win. Till you win what? When you stop making excuses, when you stop procrastinating about your money, when you stop cheering for NBA, NFL teams, when you stop shouting louder in church institutions than you are about your own financial freedom and your own money. Start cheering for yourself. I don't agree with Dave Ramsey's philosophy about finances on a lot of things, but one thing I agree with Dave Ramsey is you have to have a gazelle mentality. You have got to get up every morning just about your finances. And you have got to go running because you know that the lion or the cheetah is coming after you. And you got to be the first one up at sunset when it comes to your finances. And you got to take charge of your life. But the lion wakes up every day in Africa at sunset and says, look, if I don't go out and hunt, I will not eat. So the lion gets up with a mentality that is, I got to wake up and I got to attack this, right? I got to go for it, even though it's the king of the jungle. But the gazelle says, look, if I don't start running, if I'm not serious, if I don't start today, it's either eat or be eaten. You have to have a gazelle mentality, especially in this Great Depression and this Great Reset, the largest wealth transfer. And I'm also doing, shameless plug, cryptocurrency investing too. But I need you to get your credit straight first, your cash flow. You got to be cash flow positive before you even pay yourself. Get cash flow positive. Again, protect your money if you're flipping Forex or cryptocurrency through the 475 tax deductions. And learn about this new currency system. You do these things and get in your private reserve account. You may have, not that you will, I pray that you won't, I hope that you won't, but you may have 99 problems, people. But guess what? Money will not be one of them. Text that number. Let's get you all started today. Thank you all for taking time to investing in your financial future and watching this live stream all the way to the end. Queen out.